And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Quincy Notre Dame High School Advanced Physical Therapy Field, where tonight it's the QND Raiders taking on the Chargers of Illini West in the opener to the West Central Conference. The Raiders come in at 2-1. Illini West comes in at 2-1. The Chargers losing last week to Camp Point Central in overtime, 25-22. The Raiders coming off an impressive 49-6 victory over Bashan out of St. Louis. Tim Kinship along with Kyle Vemberlo, Bruce Terstege, our producer. It's a picture postcard. Wonderful evening for football, our first in 4 weeks. Actually, it was real nice in Rockford to start the game. It just kind of went downhill from there. But, Kyle, it's a perfect setting for football, a perfect night for football, and probably two very evenly matched teams going at it here tonight.
Well, you nailed it. This is what these kids work so hard for. This is what they worked hard for all week, all off season. This is what hopefully drove them to play football in the first place. What a night here at Advanced Physical Therapy Field. What a kind of a rekindled rivalry, if you will, two very proud local programs ready to play a terrific football game tonight. And you're right. I think if you went around the crowd here and asked who might win tonight, you'd probably get all biased opinions because it's a really evenly matched game. It should be a lot of fun to watch.
The pregame show is brought to you by Zender Robinson Stormer Cookson Funeral Home in Quincy and Payson. And Kyle, you'd be a little concerned if you were an Illini West fan that last week playing Camp Point Central, going to overtime, losing in overtime, that emotionally it would be tough to get up for the next game. But when Illini West gets to come to Quincy Notre Dame and play the Raiders, I think that all kind of goes out the window because they know the history of both programs and the history of making the playoffs and advancing the playoffs. QND is not exactly the state title worthy that Illini West has been through the years, but still, it means a lot for these kids from Illini West to come in here and have the opportunity to beat Quincy Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think so too. And and it's not as if the this Notre Dame game was scheduled in the last 10 days or something like that.
Right.
I mean, these kids and these coaches have known Quincy Notre Dame is the week 4. It's following that Central week. We're going to have to re-gear quickly. We're going to have to mentally get restored quickly and be focused to go out and play another strong game. And so, certainly Illini West is used to that. They're used to big games and long playoff runs. Getting mentally re-geared is something these kids grew up watching that. So this is nothing new to them. They'll be ready to come out and play their A game tonight.
And kind of a special occasion for the kids from Illini West, or Carthage, if you will, because the last time, and we were talking about this about an hour and a half ago here in the press box, the last time Carthage played in Quincy was 1975.
Wow.
And that would have been at Q Stadium. So for them to come here and see QND's football facility for the first time, I don't think it knocked them for a loop and they're going to be unable to play. But still, it's a big deal for these kids to come to Quincy and take on Quincy Notre Dame.
Well, sometimes you hear Coach Cannell talk about that, especially come playoff time, seeing a field for the first time, figuring out even how the locker room logistics work and where you even – some of that stuff can be a little bit goofy. So it's exciting. I'm glad they picked this year to come check it out. We obviously have a beautiful new facility, so this was good timing on Illini West part. And you mentioned the weather earlier, between the weather, and we're going to have a great big crowd. And, again, two evenly matched teams. What a night it should be.
We'll step aside and take a 90-second break and come back and get the thoughts of head coach Bill Cannell as QND and Illini West get set to lock horns in the West Central Conference. And we'll be back in 90 seconds here on WTAD.
At Zender Robinson Stormer Cookson,
levels okay, Bruce?
The funeral service represents a
Tim,
final
you
farewell
need to raise
to
your level,
and
but
we
leave
know how
Kyle's
important it is
alone.
to you.
All right,
that
thank you.
everything is just the way he or she
Thank you.
wanted it. At Zender Robinson Stormer Cookson,
Pre-game show with Coach Cannell. We'll do it in 3,
it's the way
2,
we live our
1.
lives. We will answer questions, give suggestions, and point you in the right direction from start to finish. You need someone to rely on.
Reading one of those.
We are the
thank you.
someone. Zender Robinson Stormer Cookson in Payson and Quincy.
I forgot about George Chapel hit last year on 4th down at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome. I'd forgotten about
I think my line on the air was, that was a big boy football hit.
Oh man, that was a head snapper.
One by one. Pepsi Wild Cherry is so explosively lip smacking. It's like, well, it's kind of like.
I'll send you another email Monday, probably be Monday evening, because I'm going to go to the radio station Monday and work out everything with Mike and see what we need to do. And have you ever used a generator for anything? Because I never have.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, they get out for like emergencies, right? Yeah, I don't think I have.
Summer's still hanging around, and that means big thirsts. Stop by your local Illinois Airco convenience store and get your favorite flavor of Gatorade, just $2 for $3. That's for a limited time only, and only at your local Illinois Airco convenience store.
The Raiders play here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Welcome back to the pregame show, everyone. The Quincy Notre Dame football Raiders playing their West Central Conference opener against the Chargers of Illini West. Tim Kincher along with head coach Bill Cannell. And Coach, first of all, last week against Vashon, I think if your coaches and your players before the game put out a checklist of, 1, 5, 7 things you wanted to get done last week, you pretty much ticked all the boxes in that 49-6 victory. You pretty much did what you wanted to do to get that victory last week.
Well, again, Tim, with playing teams like that, and I would say that, does our coaching staff specialize in that? Well, I mean, we had seen it so many times. I mean, you brought it up last week. I mean, did they look similar to a manual? And you were probably pretty close, if not dead on, heads on, way back in the day. Peoria Central before Thornton got there. I mean, that type of team, very quick, very athletic. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure they don't make the big play to beat you. So, people may have said last week, well, why in the world are our safeties playing at 20 yards deep? Well, we wanted to give ourselves a 20-yard head start, so we knew we didn't get beat. And then, we weren't kicking the ball directly down there to them because at the end of the day, we knew they had the athletes and the team speed to make a big play. So, I guess we played very conservative. We wanted to run the clock, which you saw our running game. We wanted to establish the run, keep the run going, make the clock run, shorten the game. When the quarterback dropped back, try to put some.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
Budgeted the time perfectly because Illini West has the ball on the tee to our left, and we are getting set 3 minutes early here tonight. The Chargers and the Raiders both 2-1 on the season, and the ball's in the air and away we go, and it will come to Grant Carper at about his own 16-yard line. Carper looking to run through blocks, runs through a tackle, stumbles a bit, and then gets wrapped up and pushed forward across the 30-yard line to about the 31. So about a 14-yard return for Grant Carper. 1st and 10 QND.
A nice tough run there by Carper to pick up a couple extra yards. It'll be fun to watch this, see how this Illini West defense comes out and game plans this QND offense. Obviously, they're going to be geared up to stop the run. Let's see how many guys they put in the box. And one thing I'll keep an eye on here for Quincy Notre Dame offensively here, can Max Venverlo, can we get, can we make some plays here in the passing game tonight, take some of that pressure off Dalen Anders. Certainly Anders with the career game last year against Illini West. Can he pick up kind of where he left off last year against Illini West? Should be a lot of fun to watch.
Illini West comes out in a 5-3 defense. They give it to Parker Kinsel, do the Raiders on 1st down. He's got 5. He's got 6 yards all the way out to the 37-yard line, and that's going to help QND immensely, Kyle, if the fullbacks can get 5-6 yards a pop.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the recipe. If you can set, Dalen Anders, this QND offense up with 2nd and 4, we just assume start the drive 2nd and 4 as opposed to 1st and 10.
QND blue on blue, of course, at home. Blue jerseys, blue pants, white numbers, gold trim, and, of course, golden domes. Illini West in their road white jerseys with blue pants, blue numbers, orange trim, navy blue helmets with an orange logo on each side of the helmet. 2nd and 4 from the Raider 37. Kinsel goes in motion out of the power eye towards the far sideline. And the turn, give to Anders. Anders bolts right up the middle, runs over a man, gets pushed forward, and has the 1st down. Has it out to the 42 for a gain of 5.
Well, 2 plays into the ball game here. So far, Illini West in a 5-3, linebackers about 4 yards off the ball, safety at about 10 yards. So not, certainly not like Alton Marquette played it a couple weeks ago with, 9 guys within 5 yards line of scrimmage. Illini West playing a little bit more, respecting a little bit more downfield here. Let's see if how they keep it through this drive.
Power eye for QND. Copley split to the far side. Ball in the middle of the field. Give it to Logan Arns for his first carry, and he's out to the 49-yard line and picks up about 7. Quick hitter to Arns, and he gets 7. So 6, 5, and 7, the 3 running plays for QND here tonight.
Well, obviously a good start here. And so far, Dalen Anders just watched and clapped, so it's been a good stuff here from the fullbacks. Coach Cannell talked about a little bit in the pregame. Certainly this game will be won up front. Who can play more physical up front, who can be a little more tougher in the trenches. Certainly, again, last year QND had that advantage. So far, through 3 plays in the game, you certainly like what you see from the offensive line.
Power eye on 2nd and a short 3. Give it to Anders. Started up the middle, now bounces it through a seam and gets the 1st down. He wanted to take that off tackle, Kyle. Hesitated for a moment, then made a strong cut and picked up close to 10 yards on the play. Takes it from the QND 49 down to the Illini West. Well, they mark him at the 43, so that's a gain of 7 for QND, but another 1st down.
Yeah, nice job there by Dalen Anders. Sometimes the real fast tailbacks, they got a tendency to bounce it outside kind of no matter what happens. That time Anders wanted to, saw the seam though up the field, planted that left foot, planted hard and picked up a few extra yards. 1st
and 10 for QND from the Illini West 43. Turn, give it to Kinsel. He runs into a man and gets shoved backwards. Making the nice play for Illini West that time was Kyle Tanner, the linebacker, as Kinsel kind of ran into Tanner, and Tanner wasn't even really looking at Kinsel. Yeah. And Tanner was just strong enough to, once he felt the contact, spin, grab, and throw Kinsel down for no gain.
Yeah, good strength there by Tanner. I agree with you. I'm not sure he knew exactly what he was getting into at first, but was able to wrap the arms around, good solid contact, and didn't give up any yards after the contact, even though I'm not sure he was totally prepared for the initial hit.
So now we'll see what QND does. Backed up a little bit on 2nd and 10. From the near hash, they go to Kinsel again. He stutters, he stops, he tries to submarine, but he can't because of 6 Chargers there.
Yeah.
Be a gain of about 1 for Parker Kinsel and brings up 3rd and 9 for QND.
Yeah, Tanner kind of got the troops going here a little bit. That time, good initial contact and 8 Chargers in on the tackle there. So good rallying to the ball and a nice job, bringing Anders down shortly after contact. Now this is where, I'm not saying QND should pass here, throw in the pop pass like they did last week for the touchdown to Welper. But can they make, Illini West respect that pass a little more? Can they pick up a few 1st downs through the air to help, take some of that pressure off the offensive line and running backs?
Power eye single receivers Jordan Obert to the near side, ball right in the middle of the field. On 3rd and 9 from the Illini West 42, they give it to Arns right up the gut. He's able to bounce off a couple of tackles but not get near the 1st down marker. As it about the Illini West 38-yard line, it's going to bring up 4th and close to 5 for QND as Arns picked up 4 on the carry.
Yeah, certainly a conservative play call. QND either here playing strictly 2-down territory or thinking let's just pick up a few yards and try to punt Illini West inside the 10 or 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
See, here is where I would punt it, Kyle. QND's punting unit is not nearly as strong as it's been, say, in the last 5 years, but make Illini West go the length of the field here rather than 2/3 of the field.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying. Certainly if QND doesn't pick it up, Illini West will take the ball right around 35 or 40-yard line, see how it works.
Quick count. Beverlow's going to keep. He's going to roll out. Has Tappy open, fires, and it's complete to Tappy right at the first down sticks. It all depends on the spot, and I don't think QND got it from where that linesman is.
Well, it certainly looked like Tappy was past the marker when he caught it.
He's short from where the linesman put it down. Yeah, he is short. And if we had instant replay, this would be quickly reviewed because that was a horrible spot by the far side linesman. Yeah, he missed by about 2/3 of a yard.
I thought so too. I thought he caught the ball right on the 31 or 32-yard line. Said they're going to spot it at about the 34. Tappy was coming back to the ball certainly, but I don't think he lost 2 yards after the catch.
So kind of a break for Illini West. They get a good spot from the far side linesman, and now the Chargers take over 1st and 10, and their first running play goes nowhere. And I was writing down the previous information. We'll pick up the ball carrier right now, and it was...
He got gobbled up pretty quick.
I think it was Austin Kerfman. It was Kerfman on the carry. He got no gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Illini West.
Well, again, Coach Cannell talked about it in the game, in the pregame, but certainly lots of different options here for Illini West. They like to share the carries, they like to share the yards between all 4 backs in the backfield.
On 2nd and 10, give it to one of the running backs. He makes a cut, and Nolan Ard gets stuck after a gain of about 5, and making the stick was Luke Frieden. He came up and put his helmet right between the 1 and the 5 of Nolan Ard. And Ard picked up about 5 on the play, brings up 3rd and a short 5 for Illini West.
Yeah, nice run there by Ard. He thought he was really in business there and was going to have some options downfield, and Luke Frieden thought differently, so still a nice pickup, but what a nice form tackle there from Luke Frieden.
3rd and a short 5 or a long 4 from the Illini West 39-yard line. Quick count, and they give it to the wingback, and he gets stuffed after a gain of maybe a yard. Yeah. Now, Kyle, again, look at the far side linesman where he's standing. The helmet may have gotten that far, but the ball never got to the 41.
Yeah, that was not a 2.5-yard play, that's for sure.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, there was nothing going for us twice up the left-hand side. Illini West has tried nothing going either time, but I tell you, if that was a 2.5-yard gain, I might still have something left in me. I don't know.
Well, I have a question for you at some point here tonight if Illini West runs a certain play. But the Chargers are going to elect the punt. The ball is just outside their own 40-yard line, and they have 4th and about 2.5, as Kyle mentioned. Handling the punting chores is the quarterback, Braden Bennett. Snapback is true, gets the snap and immediately punts it, and Dalen Anders has to retreat, lets it bounce, and then doesn't go back to get it, and it will bounce inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. Would have been a tough catch for Dalen Anders. I don't blame him for not trying to catch it, but the ball bounced high enough off the field turf that I thought Anders may go back and catch it on the hop, but he just let it go, and it'll be 1st and 10 QND from about their own 6 or 7-yard line. No score in the game. We've played half of this first quarter.
Yeah, nice punt there by Bennett. Kind of over-punted the Raiders scouting report there as it went over Anders' head. And you see QND go for it on the 4th down and make a nice play on the completed pass, but end up not making it. The Chargers opt to punt, make a nice punt, and get a nice bounce then, too, for it to not end up being a touchback. And the Raiders then lose in that field possession game here, taking over at their 7-yard line.
About a 53-yard punt for Braden Bennett. 1st and 10 QND, ball right in the middle of the field, out of the power I. Single receiver near side. Beverlow turns. They run the counter to Anders, looking for running room. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers. Bounces it to the outside, but is dragged down on a nice tackle on the play by Caden Houston. And if Houston doesn't come from behind and get Anders, Anders is probably taken off down this near sideline. As it is, Anders picked up about 8 on the play.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Houston. A good kind of hopping around, good patient run there from Dalen Anders on a 25 counter to the left-hand side. Had to read a block there from the defensive end where he ended up bouncing outside of it. Play's really designed for him to cut inside of it, but did a nice job kind of reading the field and bouncing outside of it.
2nd and 2 from the Raider 15. And give it to one of the upbacks in the power I, and he is pushing and scrambling and still pushing and has his hand down. They finally mark him down, and he should have the first down. I believe it's Arns with the carry. It was Logan Arns. And they're going to mark him at about the 17.5-yard line or the 18. They're going to mark it down at the 18, which is a gain of 3 and a first down for QND.
Nice job here for QND. Certainly, taking over the 7-yard line obviously is an imperative that they go down the field and score a touchdown, but you do want to, pick up a couple first downs, and if you end up punting, give your punter a chance to pick up some more field position. Don't have to have him punt from your own end zone.
Jacob Mayfield split to the near side. Ball on the near hash. 1st and 10 QND from their own 18. They run the counter to Anders. Stutters, waits, and then gets popped. Not only by Caden Houston again, but also by Colton Reagan, number 54, a defensive lineman who kind of stunted around and really hit Anders in the hole with some authority, but it's still a pickup of 4 for Anders, 2nd and 6 QND.
Yeah, another shot. You mentioned Colton Reagan, listed as a nose guard. Lines up here at the nose guard spot, almost was 4 or 5 yards back there, almost as a linebacker spot, and then closing in on Anders. But playing some tough physical football there up front and put one on Anders that time.
2nd and 6 for QND out of the power I on the near hash from their own 22-yard line. Pitch it wide to Anders. Anders has Arns out in front of it. Anders has 5. Anders has close to 9 yards on the play. Put him at the 31-yard line. That is 9 yards for Dalen Anders and a first down for QND.
Nice there play. Nice sweep right there from QND. Hooked the defensive end and a good run there from Anders. Credit Austin Kerpman hustling from his linebacker spot there, chasing Anders down the other side of the field. Really put a good lick on Anders as well. Good, strong, physical football player, and Anders with a nice run. Kerpman made him earn it there at the end.
1st and 10 QND from their own 31. Ball on the far hash this time. Out of the power I. Turn, give it to Kinsel. Kinsel has 5, runs through a tackle, and gets about 6 yards. And again, this is the same officiating crew, Kyle, we had last week. And they don't blow a quick whistle. They let the kids play until there's absolutely no more momentum, and then they blow the play dead.
Yeah, I like that. They're kind of letting the kids figure out. They know when the kids, they know when the players are down. They know when to not go after them. I like what we're seeing tempo-wise from the QND offense here. Getting plays in pretty quick, kind of keeping this offensive rhythm, getting the play into Max Vemberlo, and keeping these linemen always moving back and forth and running backs fresh with the ball.
From the QND 37, 2nd and 4 for the Raiders. Ball on the far hash, turn, run the counter to Anders, and he'll be hit in the backfield. Spins off one hit, but then gets tackled about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, as Illini West did a good job of penetrating and not allowing Anders to make a decision once he got the handoff.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like it was Jacob Scholl, defensive end, senior defensive end, kind of blowing that play up again. That was a 25 counter play. We've seen that 3 or 4 times already from QND here in the first quarter. So seeing something in the scouting report that they really like about that. Scholl that time from his defensive end spot. He made the initial contact, didn't make the hit, but really, getting that penetration in the backfield is what kind of blew it up. Dalen Anders took the handoff and kind of had to make a decision right away, kind of threw off the timing of the play.
Raiders faced with 3rd and 7 after a loss of 3, and they will go to the Notre Dame. Here's a pass out here to Copley. Copley sidesteps one man, gets the first down and more, and he'll be tackled at about the 48-yard line is where they're going to mark him out of bounds. And that was just basically a tunnel screen to Brian Copley, and the tunnel screen picks up 14 yards on the play, 1st and 10 QND.
Yeah, nice job there. Copley just kind of on a quick swing pass from his slot position, just kind of swinging around to the outside. It sounds like a little thing, but it's a huge difference. Max Vemberlo putting the ball in front of Copley where he could catch the ball running forward, didn't have to stop, could keep his shoulders squared up upfield for the most part. Copley able to get it and keep going upfield.
Raiders stay with the Notre Dame set of 4 wide receivers, but they give it inside to Anders, who bobbled it for a moment, hesitates, tries to bounce it to the outside, gets in Illini West territory, but only to about the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for QND, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Raiders.
QND here sticking with the shotgun set, the Notre Dame set, the 4 wide.
Not switching to the power I.
Not switching back to the power I, and just kind of, seeing how Illini West maybe reacts to it. Maybe even getting a feel for how they would look if they went to the Dalen Anders in the lone system, the Wildcat system. So kind of getting a different look here, getting a different feel from the Illini West defense.
Power I on 2nd and 7 from the Chargers 49, and it looked like Parker Kinsel thought it was on first sound, and if it was first down, it was a long first down because Kinsel shot through the line of scrimmage just as the ball was being handed off by Max Vemberlo. So it's going to be a 5-yard walk-off on QND. First penalty of the game comes with 98 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No score in the game. And the Raiders now have a 2nd and 12 facing them here, and the ball is back at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, this pace of the game moves pretty quick with all these good running plays, players staying in bounds, mostly inside the tackles here, and quick move in first quarter.
And you would expect that.
Yeah, not a shocker.
So that play, they got the first down for QND, Kyle. Notre Dame went to the 4-receiver set, but they had 3 on one side, and Copley was kind of the middleman of the 3. So he catches the pass from Max Memberlo. The other 2 receivers know what the play is, so they immediately start their blocks. And Copley did a good job of just catching the ball, reading his blocks, and getting around the corner to get the first down.
He did.
So on 2nd and 12 for QND, Memberlo stands up, fires, and it's the lightning play to Jordan Obert. Gets a huge block by Brady Miller, and Jordan Obert is down to about the 35-yard line.
Nice job there by Brady Miller. And again, Max Memberlo quickly getting the ball over to Jordan Obert. Brady Miller putting a big block on Nolan Nard, the senior captain at cornerback there. You know, it's a play, they call it lightning to X, fake sweep to the right, throw it back to the receiver on the left. The left tackle pulls and goes and blocks that cornerback, and Brady Miller just textbook block there to set Obert free down the sideline.
Gain of 25, or excuse me, 22 for QND. 1st and 10 from the Chargers 35. Give it to Parker Kinsel. Parker Kinsel darts through the hole and gets tackled at about the 28-yard line for a gain of 7.
Kinsel back on the action again. My favorite 150-pound fullback of all time. Absolutely love it.
I don't know why.
That's a compliment, by the way, Parker.
Yes, it is. That is. By the way, that lightning play, I always have memories of Chris Idler catching and Trevor Frere bearing down on somebody and just waiting for the splat to happen. 2nd and a short 3 for QND. Max Memberlo fumbles the snap, now picks it up and is in no man's land. And he thought about pitching it backwards to Anders, but thinks better of it. Gets tackled for about a 3-yard loss back to the 30-yard line. But it will be 3rd and 5 for QND, and I'm thankful that Max Memberlo changed his mind there and didn't try and pitch the ball out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they had a sweep right called there, so he's thinking maybe if I can get rid of it quick enough, Dalen Anders can get out there, and it's, you know, could be somewhat doable play. But, yeah, good decision there to keep it. And, you know, it certainly probably would have been 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 if he chose to, so good decision there by Memberlo.
Last play of the first quarter probably. It is 3rd and 5 for QND from the Illini West 30. Give it to Kinsel. Stumbles, lowers his head, and we'll get to about the 27-yard line. We'll see if they give him the 26, but it's going to be 4th down regardless. 4th and short for QND. It looks like it's going to be short, 4th and about 2 on the first play of the 4th quarter. Kinsel picks up 3. We've played 12 minutes. No score in the game between QND and Illini West. Back in 1 minute here on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
The Raiders lost a half a yard, so it's 4th and about 2.5 for the Raiders from about the 27.5-yard line. And I think the Raider bench has kind of noticed this, and now they're going to push the play clock up and allow the Raiders to have a full 25 here. And the officials are going to talk things over. We've had some interesting spots here tonight, 2 by the far side linesman. And now on the change of quarter, it certainly looked like it was closer to the 27-yard line, and now they are going to put the ball at the 27, Kyle. So
okay.
I'm an idiot, but I can notice things if I have to.
Well, good noticing. I don't know what to say to that.
I try to be observant. It's kind of 90%.
You got all your hash marks. This is your favorite.
Yeah.
place.
See. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So 4th and 2 for the Raiders from the Illini West 27. They give it to Anders on a pitch, and he will get the first down. Picking his way through traffic, will get to about the 22-yard line. Dalen Anders really jitterbugging his way around the corner to the far side and gets down to the 21 for a gain of 6 and a first down for QND, and the drive continues.
Yeah, not exactly your prototypical, hey, hey, running back, it's 4th and 2, just get the 2. I don't care if you get 60, just get the 2. 2 yards plus 1 inch, and that time Anders showing a little patience there, maybe a little more patience than you prefer on 4th and 2, but using his instincts, pick up the first down nonetheless for Dusty Waddell, pushes him out of bounds.
1st and 10 QND from the Illini West 21. No score in the game. Single receiver near side, ball on the far hash out of the power I for the Raiders. From the Charger 21, long count. Turn, give it to Anders, right up the gut. He's got 5, spins off a tackle. He's got close to 10. He's inside the 10-yard line, still fighting, gets down to about the 9 for a pickup of 12 and a first down for QND, 1st and goal.
We talked about it. I remember talking about that last year when the Raiders played Illini West. Even when Dalen Anders was taking handoff, he seemed like he was taking that handoff and just charging forward. Sometimes on those straight ahead plays. Sometimes that counter, you got to take you got to take a counter step before you come back the other way. This time that was an ISO play right up the middle. Dalen Anders just charging forward when he takes that handoff from Max Venverlo.
1st and goal for the Raiders from the Charger 9. Power I, ball on the far hash. Turn, give it to Kinsel. He bounces off the corner, lowers his shoulder and pushes forward and gets to about the 3. He saw a defender, Kyle, and said, I'm putting my helmet in his chest and bouncing off, and that's exactly what he did to get 6 yards.
No, and all tough yards, as they always are, up the middle. I mean, he really only gets the ball in a couple of different plays, right and left, and, man, they're all tough yards there for him, and just takes so much pressure off Venverlo, so much pressure off Dalen Anders, and pick up those tough yards up the middle.
Fantasy football alert. Logan Arns is going to get the ball here because they're inside the 5, talking about QND. Power I, 2nd and goal from the 3. Tight end to the near side, single receiver near side. Turn, give it to Logan Arns, and he gets pushed backwards for about a yard. What is the Illini West players listening to my broadcast for?
That's right. They've scouted it. They 34 is the guy when it gets close. They had him there. That time Arns almost looked like he stuttered there a little bit, probably because the play was blown black in his
there was
face.
good penetration.
I understand it. You might not have had a ton of good choices, but probably stepping a little bit more than you prefer your fullback inside the 5-yard line.
Well, he had somebody right in his face pretty much when he took the handoff. I think there was a stun on by Illini West, and the guy stunned it right into Arns as he took the handoff. So a loss of 1 puts the ball at the Charger 4. 3rd and goal for QND. Ball on the far hash. Kinsel's going to come in motion towards the near sideline. And the Raiders will pitch it wide to Anders. He should score on it. He does.
All right. Arns with a nice seal block there as well. That time a goal line defense. All the Chargers playing within about 5-6 yards of the ball. Arns with a nice seal block there on the safety. Waddell. Anders untouched in the end zone, and nice drive there by the Raiders.
That was about a 94-yard drive.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't imperative they went down and scored a touchdown, but I'll sure as heck take it.
Ben Nord will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Landon Hemming. 6-0 QND lead. Snap back ball down. Kick is up, and it looks good. And it is. So QND draws first blood. 2 minutes and 4 seconds into the second quarter. Your new score, QND 7, Illini West 0. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available.
You get that short yardage situation, you're really expecting every single yard to get tougher, but that was probably the easiest 5 yards Anders or any Raiders running back had on the whole drive.
Have you noticed the new offensive line coach for QND down here?
He's getting done.
You know who that is? Jack Cornell.
Qualified.
I mean, can you imagine those 5 high school kids sitting on a bench and a 6'7" bearded guy who looks like he should be on Duck Dynasty comes over to talk to you?
And he says, when I was on the Ravens and the Raiders, this is how we did it, okay?
Yes, sir, Mr. Cornell. Yes, sir.
I hope Coach Cannell didn't put him through too rigorous of an interview process.
Yeah, I bet that was a tough one. Here's a line drive kick that's picked up by Nolan Ard, and they fake the handoff. Ard still has it on his right hip, trying to turn the corner. Good job by Kroshinski to slow Ard down. Ard bounces off one tackle, but is tackled inside the 20, and now a late flag comes flying in to the pile. And we'll see what it's a blocking infraction or a face mask infraction on QND. But Illini West loves those reverses, Kyle. They love to keep you thinking on those special teams plays.
Yeah, typically teams will just kind of pack it in, just do kind of the middle wedge and take the ball over the 25 or 30, but they try to get creative. Really it's really just it's a mindset, seeing that kickoff or that punt return and saying this is our first offensive play. This isn't a change of possession. This is our first offensive play, and let's make something happen.
Penalty is on Illini West, and I couldn't tell from the signal whether it was a block in the back or holding, but it was one or the other. And they will march the ball back to the 9-yard line of Illini West. So the Chargers have 91 yards to try and find pay dirt after the Raiders just went 94. So 1st and 10 Illini West from their own 9-yard line. Braden Bennett is the quarterback. The wing T set up for the Chargers. And they give it to Nolan Ard. Nice. He's swallowed up for a loss of 4.
Austin Tappy in there. Who else is in there?
Blake Hilgenbrink.
Hilgenbrink in there.
Actually, no.
No, that isn't Hilgenbrink. 87. Not 47.
I think that was Caleb Hines, 67, Kyle, from his defensive tackle. So you had a defensive tackle on a defensive end, 5 yards behind the play, swallowing up Nolan Ard. I think that's the definition of penetration. I may be wrong. 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's winning the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and 14 for Illini West. Ball just outside their own 5-yard line. Braden Bennett gets under his center. Bring the wing back in motion. Give it to the wing back. He's looking for a hole and finds one. Bolts up the center of the field. Face mask on QND. I'm not sure if anybody saw it.
I'm not sure he saw it.
It was Dalton Mary with the carry. And he took it from the 5-yard line to the 19. So pick up a 14. Should have been a personal foul face mask on QND, but I don't think it was called. But it's a 14-yard pickup for the Chargers and a first down for Illini West.
Well, again, one of the staple plays there out of that wing T, fake up the middle. Mary coming around from his right, wing back position, coming around to the left. Nice tackle, nice carry, off tackle to the left-hand side, and there's that face mask penalty. Marched off to the 34-yard line now.
So a 25-yard gain for Illini West on that play. 1st and 10 for the Chargers from their own 34, ball in the middle of the field. Wing T set up. Braden Bennett gives it to the first man through, and he's got a seam. That's Kerfman, and Kerfman gets to about the 39-yard line for a pickup of a quick 5.
QND playing this primarily a 5-3. Safeties back, corners wide, so playing really just 8 men in the box here. Really those defensive backs, kind of a different philosophy than some teams, but really defensive back-wise, Coach Cannell will coach those guys up. It's don't give up the big play, don't give up the big pass from Braden Bennett, don't give up the big run wide. Let's make these guys go 12, 15 plays, and if they can do it, hats off to them, but just don't give up the big plays. That's kind of the defensive back mindset.
2nd and 5 for the Chargers from their own 39. They try and go off right tackle, and it's swallowed up by the Raider defense. Once again, there to make the play was Hilgenbrink. Yep. And that's a loss of 2 on the play, bringing up 3rd and 6 for Illini West.
Coach Cannell talked about it a little bit in the pregame show. He'll use some of the blitzes here, try to play, real aggressive from his linebackers there. That time Hilgenbrink, the blitz was called right. Hilgenbrink with a nice sure tackle and try to set that the Illini West offense there behind schedule, put them in 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs. Here the Raiders did that.
They actually marked it off as a 1-yard loss, bringing up 3rd and 6. Looked like there was movement, but no flags thrown. Bennett stands up, fires, and it's incomplete.
Nice.
Good sandwich hit by the Raiders secondary. Jordan Obert was in the area, and then the big hit was applied by
Landon Peters.
The young sophomore, Landon Peters.
Yeah.
Boy, it looked to me like the offensive line moved and a defensive end moved for QND, but no flag thrown. It's 4th down, and the Chargers may be forced to punt it away again.
Yeah, I thought so too, Tim. I thought there was movement. Probably on both sides even. Kind of a goofy, almost like the snap was a half-second late. But no flag, and Raiders a nice 3rd down stop.
7-0 QND leads. Maybe get the ball back here. 7.5 minutes to go, first half. Bennett will punt it away for Illini West. It's an angle kick, end-over-end kick, steaming towards the far sideline, inside the 40. Well, it depends where that far side linesman, how far he wants to walk up. And right now he's at the 39, he's at the 40, and he'll stop right at the 40-yard line. So QND has it in good field position at their own 40, leading 7-0. 7:25 left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and again, going back there a play ago, again, big play there by Landon Peters from the safety position. We haven't talked much about Brandon Bennett yet tonight, but certainly one of the best quarterbacks in the area. Very much a dual threat. 88 yards rushing, I believe it was, in the second half just last week against Central. Certainly no stranger to the big play through the air. He's hit Waddell a couple times through the air for some big plays. So very capable quarterback. Certainly not just back there to hand it off and watch his running backs go. Very capable of making big plays.
On the power I, 1st and 10 QND from their own 40. Kinsel goes in motion towards the far side, leaving an I backfield. Numberlow turns, gives it to Anders. He slips and dives and weaves and gets 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for QND from their own 46-yard line. Just to amplify your point, Kyle, Coach Cannell thought that Braden Bennett last week for Illini West in the late stages of the game against Camp Point Central just said, boys, get on. I'm taking us to the promised land. And got 88 of his 92 yards in the second half.
Yeah, and you're right. And, it took that, got a couple second-half touchdowns to kind of lead that comeback effort, kind of put the team on his back. Coach Glein even, considers him another coach on the field.
2nd and 4 QND from their own 46. Kinsel comes in motion towards the near side. Almost looked like he started upfield too soon. Anders takes the pitch, looking for running room, gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. As he tried to find a seam to cut to, there was none there because of the Charger defense. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 6 for QND.
Yeah, it kept trying to go wide there. Kept looking wide. Nothing really opened up. If he had to do it again, he might have just tried to plant that right foot, spit upfield, and just try to get back to the line of scrimmage. But credit that Charger defense there for kind of giving him no options there and making that tackle for loss.
You just wonder, Kyle, if subconsciously some of the Raiders thought, well, the guy who went in motion cut upfield too soon, they're going to blow this play dead, so they kind of slowed down, and no whistle came. 3rd and 6 for QND from their own 44. Kinsel goes in motion. Raiders turn, give it to Anders. He wiggles his way, and now a flag flies in as Anders powers his way to the first down, but you have to figure it's going to be a hold or a blocking infraction on QND. Anders made it to the 49 for a gain of 7, but now the penalty is being discussed by the officiating crew.
And QND kind of with the
holding on QND.
3rd and 7. QND says that's fine. This ball's coming up the middle. Try and stop us. And they run the ball up the middle. They pick up the first down, and holding's going to negate it.
So basically a gain of 2 for Anders, and then they mark off the penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and about 13 for QND from their own 37. Well, now they walk it back even further. They're going to put it at the 34. So it's going to be 3rd and 16 for QND. Ball needs to get the midfield to keep the drive alive.
Let's see how aggressive QND gets with this play call here. 3rd and very long, as you note. They got a little bit of a breeze here. If they come up well short and decide to punt it. Their defense has a pretty good pulse so far in the Illini West defense. Let's see how conservative they might play it.
Raiders go empty, 3-by-2 the receivers. Vemberlo takes the snap, looking, he's going to chuck it deep, looking for Copley and overthrows him incomplete. Actually, that was Jordan over 25, not Copley 35. And Beverlo just tried to hit Obert on a streak route and overthrew him by about 3 yards. So on 3rd and 16, the Raiders took a shot deep, come up empty, and the Raiders will punt it away for the first time in about 7 quarters, to be honest.
And, nice toss there from Max Vemberlo. Real good-looking ball, just overthrew Jordan Obert a little bit. Nolan Ard on the coverage step for step. The ball goes incomplete, the Raiders punt, but it still keeps that Illini West defense kind of on. You can't just guide up and stop the run.
Krasinski gets the kick away. It's a high end-over-end kick, and a fair catch called by Illini West. Jacob Scholl makes the fair catch signal right at the 30-yard line. I thought there was room to run for Scholl, but he took the prudent route and called for the fair catch. Pretty good punt by Krasinski there, Kyle. That was about 34 yards, which doesn't sound like much, but that's an improvement from what we've seen earlier this year.
Yeah, it was a nice punt, and certainly it's had some decent air time, but certainly helps out that Scholl didn't feel it was the right thing to do to return it there. It helps with the no return.
5:32 left to go first half. 7-0 QND leads. Give it to Ard on the wing back toss. He's got 5. He runs through a tackle. He's got 9, and he has close to 10 yards, does Nolan Ard. And that was basically the near side wing back going on a sweep to the far side, and Nolan Ard picked up 9 yards on the play.
It almost seems that the Chargers have had more luck off that right-hand side than they had the left-hand side. Picked up a first down inside their own 5 off the left-hand side earlier this quarter, but a nice run there by Ard there on the right-hand side that time.
Ard takes the ball to 39. It's 2nd and about 2 feet for Illini West from their own 39-yard line.
Got to stay on your heels here for QND back defensive backs. It's not a bad passing down.
Give it to one of the running backs, and he has it across the 40 to the 41 for the first down for Illini West. And the ball carrier was Austin Kerfman. He picked up 2, but they only needed 1. 1st and 10, Illini West.
Well, Illini West tries not to take a shot. That time it's 2nd and a half a yard. You figure, let's, you got the opportunity, hey, let's toss it deep. If we don't get it, we can probably pick up a half yard on 3rd and or 4th down. That time the Chargers keep it on the ground here. Really want to make this possession count inside 5 minutes of the first half.
Ball in the middle of the field. 1st and 10, Illini West from their own 41-yard line. Braden Bennett, the quarterback. Wing T. They turn, give it to Ard. He tries to sweep right, now stops, cuts back. He gets to the 44 and then gets stood up and pushed back by the Raider defense. So a gain of 3 for Ard will bring up 2nd and 7 for Illini West.
Kind of unique play. You really you don't see it much else except for Illini West football, where really Ard just keeps going side to side, does not turn his shoulders upfield there for quite some time. Really gets wide before they turn their shoulders upfield. This year it happens to be Ard, and he's doing a nice job, but always looking to get really wide before they turn those shoulders upfield.
Ball at the 44 of Illini West, 2nd and 7 Chargers, trailing 7-0 here in the ball game. Braden Bennett sets his line. And it looked like somebody moved on the end of the right side of the line of scrimmage. Logan Arns tackled the ball carrier Kerfman immediately after he got the handoff, but it'll be a 5-yard walk-off on Illini West back to the 39 and bring up 2nd and double digits for the Charger offense.
All right. Big penalty, certainly this this style of offense, and both sides for that matter. I mean, you always putting yourself on 2nd and 6, putting yourself in 3rd and 1, is kind of what you rely on to keep your offense ticking. These 5-yard penalties are even more potent against that type of offense.
2nd and about 12 from the Illini West 39. Give it to the first man through. He runs through an arm tackle. It's Kerfman, tries to bounce to the outside and is able to. He's inside QND territory, tackled by Copley from behind, along with the safety coming over to help, but a great run by Austin Kerfman as he takes it from the Illini West 39 to the Raider 41. That's a pickup of 28 on the play. 1st and 10 Illini West, their first foray into Raider territory.
Nice run there by Kerfman up the middle, then cutting back to his left. Looked like Blake Hilgenbrink blitzing right up the middle, off to the left side a little bit, just off center. Guessed wrong there. Kerfman coming just the other way, a couple gaps over. No middle linebacker to make a play, and Kerfman with some big yards.
1st and 10 Illini West, and they blow the play dead as I'm doing math again. Pickup of 20 on the previous play. I said 28. It's pickup of 20 on the run by Kerfman. Regardless, it's a first down at the Raider 41, but now another procedure call on Illini West will make it 1st and 15 from the Raider 46.
And I would say that penalty can really put a damper on Illini West drive. But the last time I said that, they just picked up 20 yards afterwards, so I'll save that point for another day.
Ball on the near hash at the Raider 46. 3:02 left to go. First half, QND leading 7-0. 1st and 15, Illini West from the Raider 46. Ball in the near hash. Wing T. And Bennett will give it to Ard. He bounces off the initial point of attack and gets inside the Raider 40 to about the 38. That's a pickup of about 7. And it will bring up 2nd and 8 for Illini West.
Illini West showing some more rhythm here. Look a little bit more crisp in the backfield, in the offensive backfield. Those fakes are a little bit quicker. Backs getting to the ball, getting to Bennett after the fake a little bit quicker. And
sense of urgency, really.
Yeah,
Illini West.
Looking crisper in the offensive backfield. Hope to see if Blake Hilgenbrink, one of these linebackers, can blow a play up before it starts.
2nd and 8 from the Raider 38. Quick count. Give it to Kerfman. He darted one way, bounces the other, gets it down to about the Raider 30, very close to the first down. And that time I think the Raiders were guessing who had the ball, and Kerfman just went right by a couple of Raider defenders and got close to the 30-yard line and picked up the first down. Gain of 9 on the play.
Yeah, credit the Raiders there, or credit the Chargers there. Illini West puts themselves in a 1st and 15, and no problem at all. They're picking up the first down in just 2 plays. So, second time in a row, Illini West puts themselves behind the chains there, really opening up an opportunity for the QND defense to make the stop before the first half ends, and Illini West makes it happen up front.
Ball at the Raider 30, 1st and 10, Illini West. Under 2 minutes to play, first half. They will fake it to the wingback. Bennett still has it. Looking, being chased. Now has all kinds of territory down the far sideline. Has the first down and more. I think gets tackled late out of bounds by Logan Arns. That's going to be a gain of about 17 on the run by Bennett. Tack on half the distance to the goal. It's going to be first and goal, Illini West, inside the Raider 10-yard line.
Yep, fake sweep there to the left-hand side. Bennett then rolls to his right, looking down the seam. Waddle running down the seam there. One of his big play receivers. Bennett decides to keep it, and it was an easy decision. Really no one over there. Lost containment over there on the far side, and Bennett with a good awareness, like we talked about, kind of having another coach on the field is how Coach Klein, the Illini West coach, describes it, and Bennett with a good decision there, keeps the ball, easy, big pickup down the field.
And Logan Arns with the new field turf has to realize he's on the boundary and doesn't need to hit the quarterback at that point, but he was just over-aggressive and made a late hit. So they give it to Kerpin right up the gut, and he is tackled pretty much at the line of scrimmage, right about at the 5-yard line. So a gain of 1 for Kerfman. It's going to bring second and goal for Illini West from the Raider 5.
Well, we talked about it a little bit before we went on air, actually. One of the biggest plays of the game last year in this very matchup, Jordan Chappell with a big fourth down play. One of the big momentum-changing parts of that game.
Right before the half,
yeah,
right?
Goal line stand right before the half. Jordan Chappell was the one to make the hit on the fourth down. But that really turned the momentum towards QND. Let's see if QND can make it 2 years in a row.
And now a timeout called, I believe, by QND defensively. And it is a timeout by the Raiders. We'll take a 30-second break. Raiders lead 7-0. Illini West knocking on heaven's door. Back in 30 seconds on WTAD.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
By Illini West. Actually, really their first impressive drive of the game.
Yeah, but this one started off, inside their own 10, after the penalty on the kickoff as well. So, showing a lot of different things. Starting off with poor field position, had a couple different times where they had some penalties and put themselves in first and long and a second and long situation. So, you're right. They've really put together a number of different things here to keep this drive moving.
On the wing tee, second and goal from the Raider 5. Quick count, give it to the wingback, and the fumble with it. And I believe the wingback jumped back on it, but it's tough to see from here. Raider defenders are pointing. They have it. They do.
All right.
And Kyle, I overheard the fine folks from WCAZ broadcasting the game for Illini West fans say this is where Illini West had problems last week against Camp Point, and it jumps up and bites them here as it's fumbled. The exchange between the quarterback and the wingback, and the Raider defender jumped on it, and you're looking for a number, and I couldn't tell you who jumped on that.
Well, I thought it was 58 for the Raiders. Unless it's a Dietrich Venverlo.
Okay.
Dietrich is a double number. Dietrich Venverlo, a double number there. It took me a second to find it. Dietrich Venverlo, the sophomore, if we saw it right, with the big recovery. And, play Illini West has run a million times. And that time just gooped up the handoff, and Raiders catching a break. Let's be clear, that was not a Raiders forced fumble. That was Illini West dropping the handoff.
Raiders give it to one of the up men. They ran the fake counter and gave it to the fullback, who in this case was Parker Kinsel. And Kinsel takes it from the 9-yard line to about the 15-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play for Parker Kinsel brings up second and a short 4 for QND, but the Raiders dodge a bullet with the fumble by Illini West inside the Raider 10-yard line, pretty much right on the 5 when that play was snapped by the Chargers, and then the fumble ensued at about the 9. Raiders on second down and short, give it to Arns, and Arns powers his way close to the 15-yard line, or close to the 20-yard line, and he should have the first down. They're going to mark him just over the 20, first and 10 QND, and it's a gain of 6, as it turns out, for Logan Arns.
As the referee stopped the clock for the first down, they're going to wind it here, and they wind it, and looks like the Raiders have to run one more play. But you're right, what a break the Raiders catch. Dietrich Venverlo hopping on the fumble, and a goal line stand, if you will, for QND.
Kessel goes in motion out of the power right towards the far side. 1st and 10 QND from 21. Give it to Anders. And Anders darts up the middle, gets pushed, gets shoved, and then gets pushed back. They waited till he went down before they blew the whistle, and that'll do it for the first half. Gain of about a yard for Anders on the final play of the first half. QND leads it 7-0 at the half. Back in 2 minutes. This is QND football on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town and Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town and Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town and Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town and Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
QND High School. It is 7-0, the Raiders lead. Illini West will get the ball to start the second half. They're about to start the second quarter at Peoria Stadium. Bet you long for the days of the press box at Peoria Stadium, Kyle Demerlow.
I can't say I long for them. No, that would be inaccurate. Those were tight quarters.
Yes,
I got to know you pretty well.
That's right. But up at Peoria Stadium, they're getting ready to start the second quarter, and Quincy High leads Peoria Manual 13-0. In what will turn out to be a big victory for the Blue Devils, I would have to think.
Coming off the heels of last week's big win versus the Rocks.
Manual lost last week to Peoria High, the juggernaut of the Mid-State 6 Western Big Six, Peoria High and Peoria Notre Dame. You couldn't have said that 5 years ago.
No, you wouldn't have. That'd be straight backwards.
So it will be Illini West getting set to receive the second half kickoff. They will move from left to right. So they'll be heading north here in this third quarter.
As they line up on the opposite side there, the kick returners.
Oh, now they're switching. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They're going to head into the wind here in the third quarter. As the flag picks up over on the far sideline. Probably about 10 to 15 miles an hour when it really ramps up, talking about the wind.
Jacob Shaw and Nolan are deep, just jogged from about their own from one 10-yard line to the other 10-yard line. So to get set up to receive this Nord kickoff.
Ben Nord will kick it off, which makes you think Cooper Reese is off on a soccer trip somewhere. So here we go with the second half. 7-0 QND leads, and we are underway. It's a line drive bouncing kick that will be corralled at about the 14-yard line by Nolan Ard. Looking for running room, finds one until Blake Hilgenbrink hits him at about the 33-yard line. We'll see where they mark Ord after the hit by Hilgenbrink. And it will be 1st and 10 Illini West, and they're going to spot the ball at the 34-yard line.
Ard got a nice bounce there off this turf. Nice high bounce. Was able to go corral that ball on the run. I like the way he returned that there. Just not taking prisoners, just zipping right up the middle, and tough yards up there. A nice return from Ard.
And Illini West right at the line of scrimmage to start the series of downs and hand it off to Ard. He starts, and gets tackled pretty much at the line of scrimmage by Blake Hilgenbrink. Deja vu all over again.
Yeah, nice job there from Hilgenbrink. He's really starting to, he's been trying to kind of feel out this count from Braden Bennett. So far, Bennett going with pretty short counts all throughout the first half, not trying to draw a long, drawn-out snap count. That time timed it up pretty well, caused some ruckus there in the backfield, and helped create the pile there for the no gain.
Caleb Hines also in on the play. It's 2nd and 10 Illini West from their own 34-yard line. Out of the wing tee, Braden Bennett. And there was some movement, but no flags thrown. The wingback has it, and he's tackled at about the 35 on a good hit by Luke Frieden around the ankles. They're going to mark the ball just over the 35. The carry that time by Dalton Mary. And it's a gain of about 5 feet. And we'll bring up 3rd and a short 8, if you will, for Illini West.
Yeah, it seems like every time we call Luke Frieden's name, we're always following it up with nice tackle by.
You're right.
Which I should say preceding it with nice tackle by Luke Frieden. Again, squared up there again, hat in the middle, and really no yards after contact. Nice job there from the outside linebacker, Luke Frieden.
So 3rd and a short 8, if you will, for Illini West. In the wing, T-ball in the middle of the field. They give it to Ard. Ard on the run. No, it's Bennett who kept it, and the Raiders did a good job in the form of Austin Tappy of recognizing that Ard didn't have the ball, so Tappy kind of peeled off Ard, went back and got Braden Bennett and threw him down after a gain of about 2.
Raiders bounce back on that 3rd and long there. Raiders bounce back into a 4-4 defense instead of the 5-3, anticipating, Bennett could potentially put the ball in the air, want to get one more fast linebacker in there to help cover the pass. Instead, Bennett keeps it on the ground, and Raiders like the way they start off defensively here. Not much doing at all for Illini West offensively. Raiders force the punt. Let's see if they can set themselves up with good field position.
Braden Bennett will punt it away for the Chargers. He's standing at his own 25, gets the snap, gets the kick away. It's a line drive that will bounce right to Dalen Anders at his own 20-yard line. He stops, he starts, and then a blocking flag on Brian Copley for a block in the back. Kyle thinks it was a block in the side, not a block in the back.
Well, both Copley and the defender kind of saw it coming, and Copley did a nice job of slowing down to make sure he didn't block in the back, actually. I thought it was going to be, but both Copley saw it coming. The defender kind of saw it coming. He slowed up to protect himself.
So that flag laying at about the 21-yard line will back the Raiders up to about the 10. And it will be 1st and 10 QND. They're going to put the ball at their own 11-yard line.
Yeah, that time, that time Bennett kind of underkicks apparently what the Raiders were expecting there, and what looked like it might have been otherwise returnable ball. Ball bounces, good coverage from the Chargers since it bounces, it gives them more time to get downfield, and then with the penalty, just kind of kept moving backwards.
Raiders weren't real aggressive in the form of Dalen Anders, and I didn't see who was back there with him to receive that pump, but they weren't real aggressive with the ball in the air and coming up and fielding that in the air. Anders was just content to let it bounce to him. Coach Cannell was really giving the near side linesman an earful, and the near side linesman told him to go away. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 11. They try to give it to Anders, I believe, and he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage if he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Good penetration again by the Illini West defense. No gain on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 10 for QND.
Yeah, it looked like Scholl was in on that one. I'm not sure if that was Houston as well. I think it was Kyle Tanner in on that one, but kind of looked like Tanner blitzing right up the middle. Kyle Tanner, middle linebacker, kind of had that one picked off. Good read there from Tanner and kind of an Anders grill there, right in Anders' face not long after he took the handoff, so really not much doing.
2nd and 10, QND. Ball just outside their own 10-yard line. They're going to send Kinsel in motion towards the near sideline. And they will run a counter to Anders. Anders picking his way through traffic, does a superior job of it, and gets close to the first down. Anders takes it to about the 19 for a gain of 8, brings up 3rd and 2 for QND. And again, that was just Dalen Anders tiptoeing along the line of scrimmage, waiting for any crack or crease and then hitting it.
Nice job there. Again, the counter off the left-hand side. Big play here for QND. Kind of probably losing the punting game. Bennett being a real sound punter.
Right.
Raiders probably losing the punting game, field position game. So you want to get a couple first downs here. If you end up punting, fine, but just get out of your 20.
3rd and a short 2 for QND, and they give it right up the middle and have the first down out to about the 25. And now a late flag from the umpire and a flag from the far side linesman.
Given the timing, I'm guessing holding, but it could be a face mask as well. I didn't see a face mask, but kind of opposite side there, we wouldn't have seen it.
Seems like with the way the Raiders are reacting, it's on Illini West. Let's see.
All right, I think so. Illini West walks backwards.
Personal foul, face mask.
All right.
And I didn't see who carried it for the Raiders. Which up back?
I thought it was Kinsel.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And that's a 15-yard penalty, so it was a gain of 5 for Kinsel. And the penalty takes it to the Raider 39, so on that series of downs, Kyle, 1st and 10 from the 11, the Raiders get 28 yards on those 3 downs. That'll work every time.
That was a big penalty.
It would have been a first down for QND.
Yeah, you go from if Illini West is able to make that stop and force the Raiders to punt from their own 20, what it does for field position, but nice job there by the QND interior line.
8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, QND leads 7-0. Pitch play to Dalen Anders. Gets a block, loses his balance, and slides or leans forward to about the 45. And it looked like there was lots of running room if Anders could keep his feet, but he stumbled and got as much as he could on the play, and that was to the tune of 6 yards, 2nd and 4 QND.
Yeah, fun watching that play out unfold here on the near side. People really flying around there. Dalen Anders ended up losing his footing, but man, there was some bodies flying around. Anders plants that right foot, tries to cut up field, and just ends up going down. But man, you can see these kids kind of really picking up the intensity. Lots of folks moving around quickly.
2nd and 4 from the Raider 45. Give it to Kinsel. He jumps through the hole, powers his way into Illini West territory, and gets tackled at the Charger 49. And that's enough for a first down for QND on a gain of 7 for Parker Kinsel.
Nice job there by Kinsel. Kind of a 1-2 punch there. Anders, and then back inside to one of the fullbacks. This time it's Kinsel. So QND showing some good rhythm here all the way out, all the way past midfield already on this drive.
Put the ball at the Charger 49. The drive started at the Raider 11. 1st and 10 QND from the Charger 49. 7:16 left to go. 3rd quarter, Raiders leading 7-0. Ball in the middle of the field. Power I, Austin Tappy tight end near side, single receiver split far side. Arns and Kinsel the up backs. Pitch it wide to Anders. Anders waits for blocks, gets one, cuts it, now bounces it to the outside, stiffs arms a man, and gets tossed out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. We'll see where they spot. They do spot it at the 44. That's a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 QND.
Nice tackle there from Waddle, the safety. Again, I'm a little surprised here we're not seeing Illini West, start going to a 5-4 or a 6-3, and just saying, yeah, you can move the ball up in the air a little bit. You've had some success, but you know what? We're going to make you do it consistently. So far, Waddle's still playing about 10 yards deep at that safety position. The linebacker's still about 4 or 5 yards.
Bonder Hardy split to the far side. And now they do blitz up the middle. Kinsel takes the handoff, almost fumbled it, bounces off a hit and gets thrown forward very close to the first down. It all depends on the spot. They put it right down at the 39, but it looks like it'll be the length of the ball inside the 39, which should be a first down, and it is. So pick up a 5 for Parker Kinsel and another first down for the Raiders. Kinsel has 52 yards on 11 carries. Anders has 81 yards on 18 carries. Arns hasn't carried it in a while, Kyle. He has 5 carries for 19 yards.
And you gotta love those numbers. Just being able to pick up consistent chunks of yards. You're talking about the inside yards there from Arns and from Kinsel, 11 carries, 50-some yards there. I mean, that's just huge to take that pressure off the QND offense.
Kinsel goes in motion out of the power I. Single receiver far side as well. Turn, give it to Anders right up the gut. He gets hit, and he's able to lean off that hit. And they didn't blow the play dead early again, Kyle. Allowed Anders to kind of regain his momentum and take the tackler for a 4-yard ride to the 35-yard line, 2nd and 6 QND.
Yeah, and credit the strength of Dalen Anders. That time Caden Houston really squared him up nicely. Had maybe not 2 arms around him, but had 1 arm. Able to get 1 arm there on Anders, squared him up nicely.
Yeah, he did.
Anders using that strength to bounce off it, bounced off to Anders' left, and picked up several more yards after contact.
Ball at the Charger 35, 2nd and 6 QND. Power I. Memberlo turns, pitches it to Anders. Anders tries to get a seal block, doesn't get it, but he runs forward and picks up 2 or 3 basically on his own. Ran the pitch play into the boundary, Kyle, so Illini West used that boundary as an extra defender and cut down Anders for a 2-yard gain, but Anders got those 2 yards basically on his own.
Yeah, he did. That play kind of looked ugly from the beginning. It looked like Houston that time from his linebacker position. Causing, almost starting to cause a pileup right up the middle there right away. And not much doing there for Anders, just kind of able to use that athletic ability to pick up 2 yards when seemingly negative 2 yards looked like a more likely outcome.
3rd and about 3.5 for QND. Ball in the near hash from the Charger 33. Give it to Arns. He will plow forward and get the first down.
Wow.
Logan Arns just took that handoff, got to the line of scrimmage, and just started pushing people backwards. And Logan Arns takes the ball to about the 28-yard line. That should be enough for the first down.
Looked like Brady Miller helping push those extra couple yards. Really helping Arns going. Just pancaked the guy there right at the end. The senior captain there for the Raiders, just kind of the, certainly one of the leaders on this team, kind of leader certainly of that offensive line, and showing off some of the determination there on that 3rd down play.
5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. QND leads 7-0. Raiders have 1st and 10 inside the Illini West 29-yard line. Power I, give it to Kinsel. Kinsel lowers his shoulder, gets hit, and squirms to about the 26 for a gain of close to 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7 QND. Kinsel with 55 yards, Anders with 87. Kyle, Dalen Anders, 20 carries, 87 yards, which is pretty good. But last year when he had 302 on 30.
That's right. I would have game planned around him too if I was Illini West. What a game he had, the coming out party last year in Carthage, just every time seemingly 8 yards, 10 yards, 12 yards. Fun to watch Dalen Anders, and the offense here tonight looking real sharp on this drive too.
The power I on 2nd and about 7. Give it to Anders. He bounced it to the outside, puts the ball in his right arm and gets hit at about the 22. Made a late switch with the ball, but that was a prudent play by Dalen Anders because the defender hit him right in the left shoulder, probably about a split second after Anders switched the ball from his left arm to his right arm. Got to the 22, as I mentioned, picked up about 4. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for QND.
And it was Waddle again from his safety position, closing in on Anders, and you're right, able to make that switch to the right, to his right arm and protect himself and protect that ball. And Raiders here with a 3rd manageable, certainly 2-down territory here for QND.
Raiders in the power I, ball in the near hash, single receiver to the near side. Tight end to the near side as well. Kinsel goes in motion to the far sideline, leaving an eye backfield. They pitch it to Anders. He should get the first down, I believe. Well, he stopped. Anders got to the corner and stopped. I guess he was thinking the blocker would push his man backwards, and the defender stood up the blocker, and Anders kind of ran right into him. So it looked like Anders was going to have running room if he cut to the middle of the field, but he stayed to the outside, and no gain on the play. Brings up 4th and 3.
That time QND goes with the tight end on the right-hand side, go with the receiver on the right-hand side. It covers that tight end. Trying to overload that side a little bit. Illini West adjusted and clogged up the hole there for Anders. Nice defensive play there on 3rd down for Illini West.
So 4th and 3 for QND from the Illini West 22. Arns goes in motion towards the far side. Memberlo fakes, still has it. Now lobs it up and wide open is Arns for the first down and more. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, stiff arms the man and scores! So basically the motion man just stayed out in the flat. Max Vanderlo took the snap, made the fake, turned, looked, and found a wide open Logan Arns. Raiders haven't run that play all year, and it works to perfection.
It looked terrific. There's a fake up the middle to Dalen Anders on 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Illini West kind of collapses, expecting the ball to go to Anders. They throw the ball to wide open Logan Arns in the flat. Nice sure throw by Venderlo. Arns makes the catch, turns upfield. Doesn't get touched to about the 2-yard line, able to take it in the end zone. There was a flag afterwards, but touchdown Raiders. We'll see what this flag's about, but nice play. Venderlo to Arns for the touchdown.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on QND, so the touchdown will stand, and then the Raiders will be forced to kick it off, I believe, from the 25-yard line, which could be big in this game. And now the official comes over to tell the coaching staff what the call was. But the Raiders, Kyle, go 89 yards on that drive, chewed up most of this second quarter, about 7 minutes of this third quarter, excuse me, and get the touchdown on 4th down on a swing pass to Logan Arns, who was wide open.
I believe that's the Dumbo pass, they call it.
Okay.
Motion to the left, fake to the tailback inside, and throw out to the motion back in the left flat. Nice calm pass there by Venderlo. Sometimes those wide open receivers can be the hardest passes to make as a quarterback. It sounds silly, but you think about it too much, and you sit there and think, oh, man, I got to put these guys too open to miss.
Snapback ball down. Ben Nord's extra point is up, and I don't know if he got that one inside or not. No, he didn't. He hooked it left. So it is 13-0. QND leads Illini West. Back in 1 minute here on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Took almost 7 minutes off the clock, if not exactly 7 minutes. And it will be the Raiders kicking off from their own 25 because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on QND. That's the 5th penalty on QND for 52 yards in this ballgame.
What a fun drive to watch for Raider fans. My
Yes,
goodness.
it was.
I mean, we talked about not liking the way that punt worked out, lost some field position, then had a penalty on the punt. You end up taking the ball over right around the 10-yard line, maybe just outside that 10-yard line. And what a nice drive from QND, all on the ground. Max Venderlo mixes it up there at 4th down. Gave Max Venderlo the opportunity to make a pass, make a big play. Absolutely delivers. Logan Arns takes it the rest of the way for the touchdown. And good physical drive. Lots of people getting involved from the running back position. Terrific drive for QND.
Ben Nord winds up and kicks it as far as he can, and Ard will take it at his own 20. Goes right up the field. He's got 15. He's got 20. Runs into his own blocker, Scholl, and falls forward to about the 41-yard line. So excellent field position for Illini West. But Ard comes up limping. I think that's Ard. Yes, it is Nolan Ard, who comes up favoring his right leg a little bit. But 1st and 10, Illini West from their own 41, trailing 13-0. And even though the Raiders get that touchdown, Kyle, you hope that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty doesn't come back to haunt QND in this game.
Yeah, I hope the missed extra point doesn't either. That time Illini West doesn't do the reverse or fake reverse. Actually, that would have been a nice opportunity to do it because that was a nice kick from from Nord.
1st and 10, give it to the fullback Kerfman. No, Bennett still has it, and he throws the wheel route, and it's wide open, but he overthrows his receiver, Ard. Nolan Ard had, about 3 yards on the Raiders secondary there, Kyle, but the pass just overshot him.
Probably more than that even. That's when Braden Bennett's going to want back. Inside fake. Bennett wheels around, throws it to Ard over to his left, and wide open Ard. Raiders would have practiced it all week, but it just caught him off guard. Sometimes those those play actions, you know, you don't want to necessarily save them until third down, you know, when the defense might expect it. That time, Illini West comes right out with it. Great play call, just missed the pass.
2nd and 10 from their own 41 for the Chargers. Give it to Ard, and he's wrapped up in the backfield by Blake Hilgenbrand. And Nolan Ard, Kyle, he gets dinged up a little bit on the kickoff return, then runs the real route 30 yards downfield, and then they give him the ball, try and ask him to go around the right tackle, and he loses 4 yards. He's saying, guys, there's got to be other people on the team who can touch the ball, please. I'm young, but I'm not. Come on.
Let's give Kerfman a shot. Something, you know, come on.
How about 6? 6 is standing right here.
Right.
Loss of 4 on the play brings up 3rd and 14 for Illini West from their own 37. Chargers went 3 and out with the first possession of the third quarter and then saw the Raiders go 89 yards on QND's possession. So Illini West could really use a first down here.
Raiders will come out at 4-3 here.
And Bennett still has it. Looking, fires deep down the middle, and it's complete and dropped. Wide open was Dusty Waddell. He had got behind the Raiders secondary by just a step, and the pass was perfect from Braden Bennett, but Waddell couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, and not, you know, decent coverage there from Peters.
Right.
You know, he was in the area just, you know, maybe a step behind, but that time Bennett puts it absolutely on the money, and Waddell can't rope it in. So, you know, Illini West, couple opportunities here in these plays. One overthrow, one drop pass. Both could have been points.
So 3 and out for the Charger offense again. Raiders will see Illini West punt it away from their own 37. QND leading 13-0. Snap is a little high, but Bennett goes up and gets it, punts it away. It's a low line drive kick that the Raiders act like it's poison. And then the Raiders get a good bounce to the side and will be stopped dead at the Raider 33. Boy, it just seems like the Raiders think that ball is kryptonite, and they need to get as far. And it's been driving me nuts for, I don't know, 18 years now to watch the Raiders try and return kicks.
Yeah.
Even when young 17 was back there for QND.
Hey, I stayed away from that ball. That thing looked at me funny. But, you know, they've done a much better, you know, call it the last 5 years, however long it's been, of being more aggressive, catching those punts, knocking up that field position. But that time, I mean, Raiders are acting like it's, you know, an NFL punter back there punting it to them, and they're just way back there.
1st and 10, QND from their own 33. Raiders leading 13-0 with 1:24 left to go in the third quarter. Power eye for QND. Single receiver is Jordan Obert, split here to the near side. Pitch it wide to Anders. Anders has a seam, hits the hole, and gets about 7 yards. That was a nice tackle by Dalton Mary, I believe, on the play, Kyle. He just kind of waited for the QND running back to get to him, and there's a flag down in between the hash marks, which I guess will be holding on QND.
It looks like QND's walking backwards here.
So Anders picked up 7 on the play, but they had the ball at the 36. So a gain of about 3 for Anders, and then the 10-yard penalty should make it 1st and 17 for QND. This Jack Cornell kid, he's teaching the Raiders how to hold. What's going on?
Yeah. What is this? I'll go down there and evaluate. I'll give him a one-on-one evaluation.
I wish you would, sir.
In fact, that's what I'll call him. I'll call him sir.
That would be probably the best decision you've made in quite a while. 1st and about 17 for QND from their own 27-yard line. Vanderlo turns, give it to Logan Arns. Arns powers his way, gets the penalty yardage back, or almost all of it back. And they're going to mark Arns down at about the 34-yard line. It will be a gain of about 6, bring up 2nd and just over 10 yards for QND.
This time it's fun watching Blake Ulrich getting downfield, the offensive lineman for QND. Junior lineman pushing all the way here to the, pushing about 10 yards downfield, all the way down to the whistle. He's going to make that referee blow the whistle before he stops.
2nd and virtually 10 for QND from their own 33-yard line. Arns goes in motion towards the far sideline. Raiders turn, give it to Anders. Stops, cuts it back to the middle of the field, runs through a tackle, gets thrown forward to close to the 40-yard line. He's going to bring up 3rd and about 3 for QND on a gain of 7 for Dalen Anders, who's now over 100 yards on 24 carries. So it will be 3rd and about 3 for QND as we've played 3 quarters in the blink of an eye, and now Dalen Anders is hobbling a little bit. We'll see hopefully if it's a cramp or if it's an actual leg injury. But we've played 3 quarters. QND leads Illini West 13-0. Back with the 4th quarter in 1 minute here on WTAD.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Nothing. Jim Kincher with Kyle Vemberlo, Bruce Terstege, our producer. And Dalen Anders had a cramp situation during the between quarter break, and he is not in the ball game right now. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders from their own 40-yard line. Long count from QND. Vemberlo turns, pitches it wide to Arns. Arns is a steamroller coming to the corner. He's got 5. He's got 10, lowers his shoulder, and gets close to 11 yards. That was a freight train coming to the near sideline, Kyle, and Logan Arns, and he picked up 11 and a first down.
Yeah, all three real physical players there in the QND backfield. Kinsel, Hilgenbrink, Arns. This time Kinsel's going to check out. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit. Anders checks in.
They gave him exactly 10 yards on the play, so it'll be 1st and 10 QND with the ball right at midfield. Arns now has 39 yards rushing. Kinsel has 55. Anders a buck and a penny. 1st and 10 QND from midfield. Ball on the near hash. Out of the power I. Anders takes the handoff. Flies up the middle of the field. He's got 10. He's got 15. He's got 16 yards. Does Dalen Anders. And a first down for QND. Oh, they're going to mark Anders down at about the 32 or 33, which is a gain of closer to 17 yards. Mark Anders down at the 33. 17 quick up the gut. It's a 1st and 10 Raiders.
Yeah, sharp looking run there. Wide open hole. Again, Anders takes that handoff. He's just charging forward. Credit Dusty Waddell there again with a nice tackle in the open field from his safety position. You know, was able to get an arm on Anders. He wasn't really getting slowed up. That was a lot of Waddell making a nice play. Again, we're still seeing that time Illini West defensively doing some shifting around on the defensive front, moving some linemen around, backers kind of faking that they're going to blitz, but really not much difference. Still sticking with that 5-3.
Give it to Arns. He bursts up the middle of the field and slams forward to close to the 25-yard line for a gain of 8.
Love the way QND offensively gets off the ball and allows these running backs to take that handoff and charge forward. I mean, Kinsel is full, fast as he can go, 2 steps into it. Not shuffling, not going side to side, not looking for a hole. I mean, he is running, sprinting with the ball.
Basically, if I'm an offensive coach for QND, I tell Logan Arns and Parker Kinsel, you have 2 dances this year, homecoming and prom. I don't want to see you dancing out on the football field. You square your shoulders and go north-south. 2nd and short for QND, and they give it to Arns, and he pounds his way through the Illini West defense to about the 20-yard line for a pickup of about 5 yards. And Arns takes the ball down to the 20-yard line. Let's see if they mark him inside the 20. They do, so a pickup of 6 for Arns and another first down for the Raiders.
And Arns limps off the field a little bit. I can't imagine why Arns and Kinsel and these guys might be a little bit sore. I mean, make all the tackles on defense.
And really, Kyle, with the 4 guys that we're talking about, except for Anders, I mean, you can basically, Hilgenbrink, Arns, and Kinsel, different heights, different weights, but they're interchangeable.
They are.
You know, kind of rotate, almost like volleyball. Rotate out for a couple and then come back in.
Yeah, they are.
1st and 10 QND from the Illini West 20. Turn, pitch it wide to Anders. Anders cuts behind the blocks, doesn't wait for them this time, slips 1 tackle, gets close to the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 16 for a gain of about 3. And that time, Dalen Anders decided, the heck with waiting for blocks. I'm cutting right now, and picked up 3.
Yeah, he did. He planted that right foot and cut up field. And it was actually Kinsel, his lead blocker from the fullback position. He saw Kinsel was thinking wide. Kinsel goes out wide. He's heading towards numbers there to the far side. Anders sees something different. He cuts up. So Kinsel kind of up in no man's land because Anders was reading something a little bit different.
2nd and about 7 for QND with the ball at about the 16-yard line, ball in the middle of the field. Hilgenbrink and Kinsel, the up backs, Anders the deep back, single receiver split to the far side. Bemberlow under center, Blake Ulrich gives it to Kinsel. Big hole for Parker Kinsel. Lowers his shoulder, keeps his feet driving, and gets close to the 5-yard line. Put him at the 6. Gain of 9, close to 10 yards, really. Close to 10 for Parker Kinsel, 1st and goal Raiders. He is fun to watch when he starts running through tires, if you will.
QND just kind of beating up Illini West here up front. Waddle a little slow to get up. Looks like he's going to stay in the game, but QND really just having their way. We talked about who's going to play more physical. QND coming right out playing far more physical to start this 4th quarter.
And Illini West takes a defensive timeout. 9:11 left to go in the 4th quarter. QND leading 13-0, and they have 1st and goal from the 5. Back in 30 seconds, 13-0 Raiders lead on WTAD.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
Last year, that would have been horrendous at Hamilton.
Oh, that was cold.
You were freezing.
That was chill. I wanted to get convey a real effect of the game. So it was really a commitment to our listeners.
So the teeth chattering were not bought at a novelty store. That was actually your mouth went. 1st and goal, QND from just outside the Charger 5. Ball in the middle of the field. Power I for QND. Turn, give it to Kinsel. He cuts to the right and scores. I don't think he even got touched talking about Parker Kinsel. Yeah, he saw the mob to the left, cut it to the right, big gap, and a touchdown for the Raiders, and they're going to go for 2, leading 19-0. With 9:05 left to go in this contest.
Yeah, right. Good awareness there from Kinsel. You're right. The call was to head to his left. Saw a cut back to his right. I like the decision here from the Raiders to go for 2. They're really having their way physically this whole drive, picking up chunks of yards the whole time. They're going to go for 2. Kinsel checked out. We'll see if they stick with the, Orange checked out, but they will stick with 3-back set.
Power I, Hilgenbrink and Kinsel, the up backs. Anders, the deep back. Kinsel's going to go in motion towards the far side. They pitch it wide to Anders. Anders is not going to get the 2-point conversion as they pitched it wide, and about 6 Chargers went with him and bottle up that play for QND. So the Raiders have missed an extra point kick, and they go for 2 and miss. Raiders lead at 19-0 with 9:05 left to go in the game. Back in 30 seconds here on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Goals later for you, Tom, but it was fun watching.
It was a gorgeous Saturday afternoon in November. That much I remember.
That I do. I remember both those.
And it was a team from the northern part of the state, and I spent most of those 2 weeks going, how in the heck is QND in the same quadrant with these 2 schools? But
I'm glad we had to make the trip.
Yeah, that's true. Better them than us, I think, is something we repeated many times that night. QND leading 19-0, and I think the Raiders may have called a timeout here.
Yeah, Coach Cannell using this timeout to give Logan Orange, give Parker Kinsel, give Blake Hilgenbrink a rest. Dalen Anders also on this kickoff team. So you've seen a few cramps tonight, so letting those guys get a little extra stretching, let them catch their breath a little bit before they do a good 60, 70-yard sprint and try to make a tackle.
And you wonder if we'll see a reverse here by Illini West.
Well, you know, sometimes you get out of that reverse. You know, if it's going to be a squib kick or not a real strong kick, you don't really bother to because the timing isn't going to work out.
You know, I don't think the Raiders called timeout from the way the referee reacted. I mean, he blew the play in. There's 9 on the play clock.
Raiders, Bennett overthrows one player on first down, drop pass on third down. So they've had some opportunities, couldn't make the connection there when they needed it there on that last drive. You know, to the Raiders' credit, they made them pay when they got the ball back. Let's see if they try something a little bit more unique here on the kickoff return. I imagine if Nord has a nice solid kick, we'll see a reverse.
And Ben Nord approaches and kicks the ball along the ground to the right side, and it's picked up nicely on the roll at about the 28-yard line. I believe that's Hunter Mary over there on the far side. Now a flag rolls in late. There was a high tackle by QND, but I don't think it was a face mask.
I don't think so either. I think from QND's perspective, you know, they're fine just to go ahead and squib kick it.
And that takes the reverse out of play.
Yeah, I mean, make them put together a drive. You know, so far they've kept them off the scoreboard.
All right. Well, they call it on QND. And it's a 5-yard penalty that will take the ball to the Illini West 37. So I think it might have been an inadvertent face mask on the Raiders. 6th penalty of the night on QND for 57 yards. 1st and 10 Illini West from their own 37-yard line. Braden Bennett, the quarterback. Will fake twice, has it on his hip, looking to throw. Still has it. Now winds up, fires deep. Double coverage out there, incomplete, flag down on QND. Double coverage, good coverage by the Raiders.
Peters and Copley.
But Peters did make contact with the receiver. And it'll be a 15-yard walk-off on the Raiders. Put the ball on the Raiders side of the 50, 1st and 10 for Illini West.
Really, Peters going stride for stride with the receiver. I think more than anything, it was almost their arms kind of getting interlocked. Yeah. Both running as hard as they can after that deep ball, kind of getting their arms interlocked, and Peters called for the interference.
I didn't see which receiver it was for Illini West.
I didn't catch it either.
But whoever it was slowed down a little bit to make an adjustment on the ball, and that's when he and Peters made the contact.
Yep.
So it wasn't a flagrant pass interference. It's just kind of a, as you put it, inadvertent contact. And now false start on Illini West will back them up 5 yards and take them back into their own territory.
Hand off to Kirkman. We haven't really talked about him in a while. Not getting many touches here in the second half. The other part that makes it hard to defend that pass with the play action and with Bennett rolling out, the play really gets extended for a long time. So those defensive backs really have to run with the receiver for 3, 4, 5 seconds, you know, and then
that was a long developing play. You're right.
Yeah, it's hard to get pressure on the quarterback.
So that 5-yard penalty takes it back to the Illini West 47, 1st and 15 for the Chargers. Illini West trailing QND 19-0 with 8:50 left to go in the contest. Give it to Kerfman, right up the gut. He spins back into Raider territory, then gets stood up. And Kerfman will get it to about the 49, so a pickup of 4 on the play for Austin Kerfman. And I'm with you, Kyle. I'm a little surprised that Kerfman hasn't carried the ball more, but they've only run 6 plays in the second half.
They've only had a handful of plays, and they've chosen, and I think it's a good decision, they've gotten more aggressive putting the ball in the air, just haven't been able to connect on it. Good stick there. You mentioned a second ago, good stick there by Parker Kensel for no yards after contact.
Gain of 4, and Bennett put it in Kerfman's stomach, then realized he was going to be hit for no gain. So Bennett took it out of his stomach, went around the far corner, and picked up about 4 on the play, maybe 5. Took the ball down to the Raider 46. We'll give him Bennett a gain of 5 and a great decision, and brings up 3rd and about 8 for Illini West. Actually, let's give him 3. The play started at the 49, take it to the 46. We'll gain a 3 for Bennett. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Chargers from the Raider 46. Ball on the far hash, wing T. Bennett takes, gives it to the wingback. He's got plenty of room, makes one man miss. He's got the first down, hit right on the ball, but he holds on. As Ard picks up about 10 on the play, takes it from the 46 to the 36, gain of 10, and a first down for Illini West.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Peters, kind of in the open field there. So Landon Peters doing a nice job corralling Ard there when Ard still had some room to maneuver downfield.
Ball at the QND 36, 1st and 10, Illini West, who trail 19-0. Bennett, they give a double reverse, and it's Jacob Scholl with it. Scholl cuts off a block, cuts it to the middle of the field, sidesteps a couple of tackles, runs through a 3rd tackle. Tackle from behind by Brian Copley inside the Raider 10 to about the 8-yard line. Pickup of 28 on the play. 1st and goal, Illini West.
Yeah, Raiders looked a little bit off guard there on that play. Caleb Hines had good penetration, got through the line, and it's an inside reverse. They handed off going one way. They handed off to another running back heading the other way on the inside, and Hines caught off guard. Big gain for Illini West.
First and goal, Illini West. They give it to Ard. Ard powers his way into the end zone. And Kyle, talking about Illini West getting up off the mat. They look like the team that's fresh and ready to go. And they just ran through the Raider defense there as Kellen Barnes is down the field injured.
Yeah, that was kind of, I didn't see that coming. Credit Illini West for getting fired up and finishing off a solid drive. That was carving up the Raider defense there for several plays.
And that only took a minute and 27 seconds for Illini West to answer QND's latest score with a score of their own. An 8-yard run by Nolan Ard. Makes it 19-6, and it will be a 2-point conversion attempt for Illini West after the injury timeout as Kellen Barnes is down on the field. And we talked about, Kyle, that Illini West needed a spark, and they got it. The pass interference penalty gave them a first down on first down. I mean, on the first play after the exchange of possession on the kickoff. And from that point on, after that pass interference penalty, it was Illini West just crisp, ding, bing, bing, getting into the end zone, and the Raiders down on the field kind of bit, and Kellen Barnes has to be helped off the field, and that's not a good sign. It's his left leg.
Left leg.
Barnes, who was going both ways week 1, just playing defense from week 2 until tonight, and it looks like he could be out for a while here. Can't put any weight on his left leg. So Illini West will go for 2. They do that every score, so this is nothing new for them. And Kyle, with QND missing 1 extra point kick and not getting a 2-point conversion, those 3 points left on the board, let's see if that comes back to haunt the Raiders. After the Nolan Ard touchdown run, Illini West goes for 2. They line up with the ball in the middle of the field at the 3-yard line. Referee gets back into position in the middle of the field. He was over at the Illini West sideline for one reason or another.
It's fun looking out at this play here from the press box, and almost all the way down the end zone line, 3, 4, 5 fans deep all the way across.
Bennett takes, gives, and Ard will get it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And that's really this drive, Kyle. The last 6 plays by Illini West, it just seemed like the Raiders were on their heels the entire way defensively and catching Illini West, whereas for the first 3.5 quarters, the Raiders were forcing the issue.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of out of nowhere. Raiders really were the more physical group there, both offensively and defensively. Raiders did benefit from a couple missed opportunities in the passing game from Illini West, but really flying around there, playing some good football. And then you're right, it was Illini West that kind of went on the offensive, taking it to the Notre Dame defense, and they finished the drive and keep things interesting here with 7.5 minutes left in the game.
Well, QND thought, okay, we're up 19-0. Our work here is done. Illini West had different thoughts and went down the field and showed QND that there's still work to be had here for the Raiders to come out of here with a victory.
I think we'll probably see QND slow things down a little bit here offensively. Certainly, they talk about a 2-minute drill. There's also kind of a 4-minute drill. Right. We're probably not the 4-minute drill, so to speak, territory, but I think QND will probably see, really work that play clock between plays. Certainly not trying to get the receivers in super fast as they can, but hopefully just string together a couple different first downs. Even if you only run 7 or 8 plays, the key here is when you turn the ball back over to Illini West by a turnover or a punt, let's get that clock down under 5-4 minutes.
Raiders are expecting an onside kick. Are you? I'm not.
I'm not expecting it, but I guess they figure let's just corral the ball and run a few minutes off the clock, and we'll consider it a worthy possession anyway.
Austin Kerfman has the ball on the tee at the 40, and the Raiders have 10 players from the 45-yard line up the midfield, and Kerfman kicks it deep. Anders will come and get it at about the 14-yard line. Dalen Anders looks for a block, gets it, cuts inside the block, gets it to about the 38-yard line. Right. Spun off a tackle and kept his balance and got to about the 38-yard line, so good field position for QND. There was as close to a hold as can be humanly done on a football field here on the edge, and none was called, I don't think.
I was about to just give credit to Landon Peters for a nice block. You think Peters got a handful of jersey? Number 10, Kyle Tanner is slow to get off the field. Referee holding Tanner by the arm, asking someone to come get him.
Kyle, Anders made the catch on the kick, and he started upfield, and first QND blocker there. Had his man blocked, but he almost went like this to hug him, and then realized, I think, in mid-reach, whoops, I can't do that, and brought his arms back in. If he would have kept going with that motion, that would have been an easy call. So
Kyle Tanner checks out of the game for the Chargers, so
yeah,
he's okay.
I didn't see what happened. He got blocked, and the two players ended up on the field on top of each other. And the way Tanner walked off the field, he really had his bell rung.
That's what I was thinking. And judging, the referee feels it appropriate to kind of hold him by the arm and escort him there most of the way off the field.
And now they're really taking their time getting the play, blowing into action here. It's almost like a TV timeout after the kick. 7:31 left to go in the contest. QND leads 19-8. Illini West just put their first points on the board. The Raiders will go with the power eye. Kinsel and Arns, the upbacks. Anders, the deep-back. Single receiver far side. Tight end near side. Turn, give it to Kinsel. Kinsel's got 5 twist turns, gets to the 45 for a gain of about 7.
Tough yards again from Parker Kinsel. I know we've said it several times, really firing out of that stance, and wow, that only spotted to the 45.
That's where he got.
Okay.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 QND. Don't get greedy here, Kyle.
Well, I mean, you
know you are standing adjacent to the 45-yard line. Don't get greedy.
To the edge of the soccer circle, if you will.
Single receiver near side is Carson Krasinski. Tight end Austin Tappy far side. Power eye for QND on 2nd and 3. Vanderlo turns, gives it to Anders. Anders will get the first down plus a yard, so a gain of 4. New set of downs for QND from their own 49, 1st and 10. Anders working hard for the money tonight, 126 yards on 27 carries.
Yeah, the Illini West, to their credit, they haven't let them sprung a big one. We talked about Waddle with a nice tackle in the open field before, but really not a ton of, QND hasn't been able to get Dalen Anders in a lot of big open spaces. Haven't really tried any screen passes tonight to try to put him in a big green space. He's really stayed for the most part between the tackles.
4 runs of over 10 yards tonight by the Raider ground attack. 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 49. Turn, give it to Kinsel. He bounces it to the outside and leans forward and gets to about the 47 of Illini West for a gain of 4. And boy, Illini West, Kyle, is really now selling out on the run. They're bringing guys up into the box just before the snap. I think they had at least 9 in the box that play.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what they waited for, to be candid. Here we are, 6 minutes left to go in the game. They're kind of finally making that adjustment we thought they might make in the first quarter. Credit Max Venverlo as well here, really making good use of that play clock. Obviously getting coached up to work that play clock all the way down, and we're already inside 10. He's really making sure that clock keeps running.
Power eye, receiver to the far side. 2nd and 6 Raiders, give it to Anders. He sidesteps one man and gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no further. So it will be, actually they may give him a yard here. They will give him 1 yard, I believe. As they're trying to clear the Illini West players, they're going to give him a gain of about a foot. So give Anders a yard, but it brings up 3rd and a long 5 for QND.
Credit Anders there with a nice shuffle. He's sidestepping Tyler Boston, biggest player on the Chargers roster, able to start. He was moving to his right, able to plant that right foot, cut back to his left, and Boston was grabbing air.
Well, let's see if the Raiders go up the middle or to the outside here. I don't think the ball will be in the air. On 3rd and a long 5, they will pitch it wide to Anderson. He'll cut it up the middle, and he'll have the first down at about the 40-yard line. Lost his balance just as he got to the first down sticks, but still was able to get enough of the 41-yard line to get a first down. So the Raiders needed a long 5, and they got 6 from Dalen Anders.
Yeah, and Anders really adjusting the way he runs those sweeps tonight. We're really seeing him cut up field quickly.
Yeah.
Really, Illini West historically, and this year is no different, a very fast team, lots of good athletes, a lot of kids run track. So it could be even an adjustment QND put in this week, saying, hey, let's not try to beat him to the corner every time.
It's almost like Anders is saying, all right, I know they're going to fly out there and try and get to the corner, so I'm not even going to go out there. I'm going to let them run themselves out of the play and cut behind them.
Yeah, he did a nice job there.
1st and 10 Raiders from the Illini West 41. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. QND leads 19-8. Give it to Logan Arns. He bounces off the first man, plows forward, and gets to about the 36 for a nice, tidy 5 yards.
QND offensively just kind of picking right up where they left off on the previous drive here. And we've talked about Illini West kind of catching a little bit defensively there a couple drives ago. Last time it was QND, now Illini West. Now it really seems QND being the more physical of the two and has Illini West back on their heels. So just with the doctor order for QND offensively here, get the first downs, keep the clock moving, inside 4 minutes, and it's staying on schedule here, a 2nd and 6.
From the Illini West 36-yard line. Beverlo turns, gives it to Kinsel. He sneaks his way to the line of scrimmage, got to the 35, and then got pushed back. So a gain of about a yard, yard and a half for QND. Bring up about 3rd and 4 yards for the Raiders. So we'll give Kinsel 2. Kinsel has 78 yards on 16 carries. Arntz has 57 yards on 11 carries. And then Anders, a $133 on 29 carries. So, some quick math. 268 yards from the Raiders starting backfield.
Gotta love the way they've mixed it up. They've been physical in every play.
Raiders going to let the clock go down to 0 or 1 and then call timeout. There will be just over 3 minutes to go in the contest. The Raiders are looking at a 3rd and about 4 after the Raider timeout, their 2nd of the second half. Back in 30 seconds, this is Raider football on WTAD.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Pulls out any stops out of the playbooks, anything they haven't shown yet tonight. But I don't think they will. Yeah, I mean, here being 2 down territory, I think they'll take their chances with these trio of running backs and see if Illini West can stop them twice.
Ball in the middle of the field, power I. Beverlo turns, he'll keep it. He'll roll out to the far side, and he's going to run with it. And a holding penalty behind the play. Beverlo gets the first down inside the 30, but they're going to call a holding penalty on someone. And Brady Miller's looking at the referee going, what? Who? The white hat behind the play called the holding penalty. On the Raiders, their 8th penalty of the night, nullifies the first down as they ran basically a quarterback bootleg and got it around the corner. Beverlo needed about 4.5. He got 5 inside the 30 for the first down, and now the Raiders have 3rd and about 16 from the Illini West 46. So that might be a huge penalty in this game.
Well, QND trying something, they hadn't shown yet tonight, and
haven't
play
shown
works,
it all year.
But it hadn't shown it all year. Beverlo showing off the speed there on the fake bootleg. Raiders in good shape here, nonetheless, with the time still clicking, time still ticking off the clock. But would have been nice to have that first down.
Out of the power right, Kinsel comes in motion towards the near sideline. On 3rd and about 16, they pitch it wide to Anders. Anders has a crease, bounces it to the outside. He's at the 36, steps inside a tackle and gets close to the first down, but he's at the 31. It's going to be real close. Really close, but I think he's short by about a half yard. It's going to be 4th and short for QND, but now Illini West calls timeout. They realize it's 4th down to Illini West, and they call the timeout. It's going to be 4th and like 2.5 feet for QND, just inside a yard, as Anders on 3rd and 16 picked up 15 on the play.
Yeah, and credit Parker Kinsel with a terrific block. Put his defender on the ground. He wasn't interested in getting in someone's way there. Floored the defender he went after, and Kinsel and Anders that time on the same page got wide, and Anders with a nice pickup on the left-hand side.
Well, the big difference there, Kyle, on the pitch play was the ball was on the far hash, and the Raiders came to the wide side of the field, so Anders had time to let the play develop and then decide when to cut. There's been, I don't want to say a handful of times, but at least 3 times here tonight where the Raiders pitched it into the boundary, and Anders had to make a split-second decision. Do I go outside or inside? That time he could let the play develop, make his cut, then bounce off a tackle and ended up getting 15 yards.
Yeah, he did a nice job. You're right. It's kind of awareness of where he's at in the field. The other thing Anders did there at the tail end of the run, stayed in bounds. It looked like he might have been able to duck his head, maybe pick up 3 or 4 more yards there if he just kind of submarined on his way out of bounds and let the defenders push him out of bounds. Instead, he puts on the brakes just outside the numbers, maybe lets a player or 2 run by him. Might have actually picked up less yards than he otherwise would have, but stayed in bounds, forced the Chargers to call a timeout.
2:16 left to go. In the unsportsmanlike conduct was called on Illini West, or sideline warning. I think a sideline warning was given to Illini West because they are not walking the penalty off. So a sideline warning given to Illini West. It's 4th down for QND, 4th and about a yard, a little less than a yard, from just inside the 32 of Illini West. Ball on the near hash, power I. Double tight for QND.
Sneak it here off the right-hand side.
Turn, give it to Kinsel. He hops, dips, lowers his shoulder, and gets the first down as he just submerged himself and emerged from the other side of the pile and comes up cramping a bit. It's the first down for QND inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line. So somehow on 4th and a yard, Kinsel goes underneath folks and gets 4.
Yeah, that time they went to what they call the heavy set there, double tight end on the right-hand side there. They get up there, up to the line of scrimmage, snap it as fast as they can before the defense really even sees it, or adjust to it. Quick hitter off to the right-hand side with Kinsel. And the toughest guy to bring down is Kinsel tonight. Just another tough fought yards, and Kinsel with a huge first down for QND.
Under 2 minutes to go in the contest. Illini West has 1 timeout left. New set of downs for the Raiders. 1st and 10. Give it to Arns. He just lowers his head and squirms his way to about the 14-yard line. And the Raiders just trying to run out the clock here and come away with a hard-fought victory. Ball just inside the 15, so a gain of 3 for Arns. 2nd and 7 QND, but 90 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah, 3 offensive drives here for QND in the second half. All of them picturesque.
Yep.
All of them exactly how you're drawing up. Nice job by the kids, really executing the offense here tonight. Got to be real proud of the effort they put forth, and what a job here offensively by QND in the second half.
2nd and 7 from the Illini West 25. Give it to Anders. He tries to slip his way through and picks up about 2 yards. Somebody loses their hat for Illini West. And let's see if the Chargers call their 3rd and final timeout, and I think they have. Anders picked up about 2 on the play, I believe. Illini West calls their final timeout with 1:05 left to go in the game. Anders picked up about 2 to the 23, and it's going to be 3rd and about 4 for Illini West. So Anders has half the yards he had last year, Kyle. He has $150 here tonight on just as many carries.
And it's not they've been all hard fought. I mean,
Yep.
it's not as if he's had an easy time and got 10, 12 yards easy and just got brought down by a single safety. I mean, that hadn't really happened. He's had 2, 3 guys around him. He's done a lot of plays inside the tackle. He's done a lot. We talked about the sweeps where he maybe play could be designed to get wide, but he has to make the hard stop and cut off field. So all hard, tough, physical yards, and Dalen Anders kind of showing off that adaptability, if you will. He can get the speed yards, he can get outside, but he can also, like we talked about, put on some muscle this year, can get some hard physical yards as well.
So Illini West cannot stop the clock the rest of this game as I have it. There's only 65 seconds left, and it's 3rd and about 4 for QND. So QND's going to go for it if they have a 4th down regardless of the distance. And it's even if they don't get it on that 4th down play, they're going to leave Illini West about 37 seconds or so to try and score. And it's a 2-possession game right now, 19-8 QND leading. So, and Kyle, let's think about this. Not that the drive is over and the game is over, but Illini West scored with 7:38 left to go in this game. The Raiders took over. The Raiders have had it now for 6 minutes and, well, after the kickoff return, probably like 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, really working that clock. I mean, that's what I mean about this QND offensively the second half, just playing more physical football and really owning that line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and about 4, they're going to pitch it wide to Anders. He's going to try and get to the corner. It looks like he's got it. He puts on a burst of speed, and he's got the first down, and then a flag flies in from the umpire. 15 yards. The umpire was inside the 5-yard line, and he throws the flag in the direction of the tackle.
And I hope that flag was not on. Carson Krasinski was the receiver there and did a terrific job blocking his defensive back and giving Andrews the opportunity to cut up field. I'm guessing it's going to be hold, just judging by the timing of the flag. Here's the hold. Yep.
And they're going to put they had the flag at the 21. So that's a pickup of 3. Then the 10-yard walk-off. Well, they had the ball at the 30-yard line already. So give Anders a gain of 4 on the play, then the penalty. So now, Kyle, with the penalty, there's 50. Well, the clock moves on the penalty, so that almost pays off for QND. The ball's at the 30. It's 3rd and 12, and there's 50 seconds and counting left in this ballgame.
Yeah, in fact, you could take a knee. 13,
almost,
12 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah. Vemberlo underneath his center, Blake Ulrich. They send Kinsel in motion towards the near sideline. And what do we have? Did the play clock go dead? It did.
Game by about a half a second.
Oh, the Raiders got the timeout call before the clock hit 0. That's the last timeout QND has.
That's the last one anyone needs to call. Raider with 31 seconds left in the game can just call it victory out, just take a knee by the time the ball gets spotted. There's no need to run another play. I think Coach Cannell and Coach Overt are talking about that now. And
it looked like the Raiders were going to run a pitch play to Anders again.
They were.
And he was going to have it was from the far hash, so he was going to have the 3/4 of the field to work with. And I think you're right, Kyle. I think there was somebody doing some quick math on the Raider sideline said, Coach, we have 31 seconds left. If we take a knee, it's going to take them more than 6 seconds to get the ball back in play. We don't need to run another play.
See some of the coaches here putting away their headsets. Looks like they've all realized it, putting away their headsets and clipboards, and
so the Raiders
congratulating each other.
Raiders look like they're going to win this game 19-8, but lose Kellen Barnes to a leg injury, and they already have crutches next to Barnes on the sideline, and his parents are down there as well. So it doesn't look good for Kellen Barnes for the rest of this football season. But right now the Raiders are happy because it's 19-8, and they were going to switch the game balls, but the young man on the Raider sideline was late to do so. So the Raiders are going to take a knee here. Vemberlo takes the snap, and he'll backpedal and then take a knee. And that will do it. There's under 25 seconds left. Raiders don't have to run another play. Raiders are going to win this ball game 19-8 to raise their record to 3-1, 1-0 in the West Central Conference. Illini West has lost 2 games in a row. They are now 2-2 on the season. QND wins it by the final of 19-8. Back in 2 minutes here on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Lipman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Michael Libman, Financial Service Representative with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls, even with the internet and email. I feel it's important to really get to know you and your family's needs. Otherwise, how will I know what direction you need to take? Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A loved one passes on, and for a moment, time seems to stand still.
My husband was my whole world. We spent so much time together.
Making funeral arrangements is never easy. We can help you create a ceremony with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
It's coming to Quincy, and it's a game changer. Fiber is the fastest technology available, and Adams is bringing fiber to the home. Nothing else compares to fiber, and Adams will be connecting Quincy neighborhoods to this lightning-fast internet and telephone service with no gimmick pricing and local service. Find out how your neighborhood can become a fiberhood. Just take the quick survey at followthefiber.net. Adams, the better and now faster way to connect.
Federated Insurance is a lot like the family businesses we help protect. For 105 years and counting, Federated has shared the common values that have served our clients well. Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours.
Call Tony Reese in Quincy at 223-4623.
Around here, people matter, and relationships are built on trust. That's the way it is at Town & Country Bank. Real people who like things simple, honest, and done right. And our roots are right here, so we're truly local. If you already do business with us, then you know how good banking can be. And if you're not, well, maybe you should. Town & Country Bank. You'll like how we do business.
Part of the HNB Bank family.
Your State Farm agent, Charles Schultz, can help get you to a better state. From cost to coverage, Charles can develop a plan just for you.
This is Charles Schultz. Call me at 224-6665 or drop by my office next to County Market at 48th and Broadway, and together we'll review your insurance needs.